Gala, as well as the co-chair of Women Vote Trump, Amy Kremer. Great to see you guys. Thanks so much for coming in. So,
Thanks
Amy,
for having us.
On the president's allegation against President Obama that he ordered a wiretap against Trump leading up to the election, at this point, the only people, if you're really looking at this, the only people backing up the president wholeheartedly are his White House staff. And even they, if you listen to their statements, are offering up, they couch every statement with ifs and maybes and could be and it's possible. Does that trouble you that no one else has seen the evidence yet?
No, it doesn't trouble me, Kate. I mean, I don't think the president would have made that allegation if he didn't have some information indicating that. I think back to the IRS targeting Tea Party and conservatives. And when the president said there's not a smidgen of corruption going on there, and look what happened, and to this day, no one's been held accountable. I think we need to wait and hear what they put forward, the evidence. I'm sure we will find out. There were 2 FISA warrants that they went to court in June and then again in October, according to several publications. And in June, it was to investigate 4 Trump staffers, and they were told to narrow their focus.
Directly relating to the, you have the reporting about these FISA applications?
This is according to The Guardian, and New York Times reported this as well. And so they went back in October and they were granted the permission to do it. So I don't think the president would have made these.
That has to do with looking into questionable banking transactions between.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is, it was whether it's phone, it could be voice over IP. I don't know whether it's the computers, phone, whatever it is. They were granted access in October, and the FISA warrants can be made public. And I encourage them; they should be put out there for the public to see. And I think that Congress should review all the daily briefings. But the point is that I don't think, and I think most people, I was at an event last night with 300 people, most people are not focused on this out here in the country. They want the president to do what he was elected to do, and that is repealing and replacing Obamacare, tax reform.
Amy, I want to, Paul, I want to get you in on this, but Amy, I think a lot of people would want the president to focus on his work and not on making accusations. Some they would say wild accusations about his predecessor having to do with wiretapping him. That has nothing to do with his agenda and where it stands right now. But Paul, come in and comment.
Well, first, Amy makes the argument that the president wouldn't say this if it wasn't based in some fact or truth, and I would like to believe that. But this is a guy who told us that Rafael Cruz, Ted Cruz's father, the senator from Texas, that Rafael Cruz, who himself is a Christian minister, was somehow complicit in the Kennedy assassination. This is a guy who told us President Obama wasn't born in America, that he was born in Kenya or something. This is a guy who has, he's subscribed to every batty conspiracy theory. Again, I'm trying to clean up my language for daytime TV. Every batty conspiracy theory. But I still remain hopeful that there's a strategy here, that perhaps the president is trying to throw us off the scent of, Jeff Sessions certainly misled the Senate. I don't really want to jump to conclusions that it was perjury, but he misled the Senate. He made a big mistake. Then he had to recuse himself. Now the American people in our poll, 2/3 of them say we need a special prosecutor, an independent counsel in this Russia case. I think this time, it threw us off. We're not talking about Jeff Sessions anymore, but he's throwing us onto the scent. Because his tweet wasn't about attacking the cast of Hamilton or Meryl Streep, which he often does to distract us. It was about this Russia case. The president can declassify anything he wants. If, in fact, there are FISA warrants, he could declassify them. He could show us that President Obama was trying to wiretap him. He hasn't done that. It's because it's not there. But what we need is a credible, independent, special prosecutors, 2/3 of the American people want, to get to the bottom of how Russia helped elect Donald Trump. That's the real story.
Well, when you get to the issue of credibility, Amy, some of what Paul's talking about was years ago, pre-election, but just post-election, you have the president who has offered up bold claims without evidence or with evidence that directly comes out that directly contradicts him. 3 to 5 million illegal votes in the election, the biggest electoral since Reagan. Don't even get me started about the conversation about the crowd size of the inauguration. And of course, then he claimed that he never criticized the intelligence community, but look no further than his Twitter feed for the truth on that. When it comes, that is just since he was elected. So Amy, why should Americans believe him on this one?
Kate, no offense to you guys, but you know what? The American people are with the president. The ones that elected him are with him. And all
I
this
don't question that at all.
All this negativity that day in and day out, it's always something negative. There's always a story. Eric Erickson has a great piece.
He brought this up. He brought this up. He raised this on Saturday. And
that may be.
And that is a huge charge that if we didn't talk about, you would be wondering why we weren't talking about it.
But the thing is, why weren't we talking about the IRS targeting conservatives like this? No one went after the administration about this.
I'm talking about today, his tweet on Saturday. Please, let's talk about this tweet on Saturday.
I am telling you this, that the American people have faith in him and trust him, and they want him to do what he said he was going to do. The media didn't elect Donald Trump. The people across the country did. And what is being talked about in the D.C., New York bubble is completely different than what soccer moms and baseball parents are talking about out here in the country. They care about being able to feed their families and having health insurance for their families. That's what they care about. If there was a wiretap, I'm sure that we will get to the bottom of it. I think it'll be put out there that we will get some clarification on it. And the real problem is that the media is demanding it right now. And one thing we've seen is Donald Trump operates on Donald Trump time, and he doesn't necessarily go to the media. He'll go around the media through Twitter or whatever, and I'm sure when he's ready to put that out there that we will hear from it.
You're sure that you're gonna see evidence of it? I mean, Amy, I don't disagree with what you said, that American people, they deserve for the president to be focused on pocketbooks, the economy, regulation, all of the things you're talking about, tax reform. I mean, we could go on ad nauseum, but Kate, you're not trying to say that we shouldn't be talking about this, right?
I didn't want to believe that the IRS was targeting conservatives either. I did not want to believe that, but they did. I'm just asking about
this one. I'm not questioning that. I'm just talking about this one. I'm talking about today. I'm talking about a very serious charge coming from President Trump against his predecessor. If I ignored this story today, you should be lighting your hair on fire that I was ignoring this story today. You'd think you want to talk about this today.
Kate, there were 6 agencies, I believe, that were in part of this investigation with the FISA warrants. I think the information will come out, but I think it's going to be on their time.
Our reporting is that the FBI wants the Justice Department to refute the president's claim because the FBI says it's false.
Well, it's interesting because wasn't it about 2 weeks ago that the FBI and CIA, the intelligence world, didn't get into refuting or propping up stories that's what happened when Reince come out, when he made that statement, and they didn't want to get involved with it, but now everybody's calling on him to do it. There's a double standard continuously.
Well, that's why we need an independent.
Go ahead, Paul.
It's why we need an independent investigation. Here's what we know. We know that Russia hacked the Democrats. We know that Putin wanted Hillary to lose because he feared her. We know he favored Donald Trump. We know that Donald Trump took remarkably pro-Russian positions, even having his aides change the Republican platform to make it more pro-Russian. We know that Trump aides were in close touch with Russia. CNN says constant contact with Russia. Now, we don't know that there was any collusion, but we know all of those things. That the Russians hacked, that they tried to tilt the election to Trump. By the way, Amy, you talked about the American people. They voted overwhelmingly against Donald Trump. Hillary won the popular vote overwhelmingly. But he was able to sneak in with his friend Vladimir Putin. We need to know.
Don't even go there. Don't even question the outcome of the election, Paul. Don't even go there right now. Stop needling. Stop needling that.
No, this is a crisis in our democracy.
I'm just saying, we can talk about this very highly charged, wild accusation that we have yet to see any evidence. I would be the first to report it if there was evidence coming from the president.
This is why he's made it.
Guys, we got to leave it. We've gone over a million minutes already. Amy.